of stone. The later ones were built of these mud brick disguised with a thin stone casing. Many of these later pyramids have since collapsed. Not all pyramids have the same internal plan. Some included a burial chamber within the pyramid itself. Others were built above a burial chamber that was cut into the ground. Pyramid building required a large workforce at a pyramid site and in the quarries. Some of these workers were full-time professional pyramid builders, but most were laborers who were summoned to work for the king for 3 months, then sent home again. Okay, wonderful. Question, Joseph.
What were the pyramids built for?
What were they built for? Okay, so that is an excellent question. And I believe that answer is in this text box that we just read. But that would be something that would indicate something of importance, which we're going to write on the line side of our note card. So take your note card, make sure you write your name. It's very small at the top of the line side. Take out your note card, pencil. Make sure you write your name pretty small, don't take up too much room. Top right side. Write your name. You can use your iPad if you want.
Where did they just find these big rocks?
Okay.
They make up a shape of
All asking great questions.
So we're like that size.
Yeah, but there's not.
Shape them.
I am going to look at my mud, huh?
All right. So, sorry? Yeah. Okay. So, as Blue pointed out to us, this has a big headline, so we know there's probably going to be important information there. But now we got a note card, and I want to take like 1 or 2 summarizing points or facts from this area to write on our note card, okay? And I want us to put it in our own words, right? So Joseph asked an excellent question, which was, what are these pyramids for? Elliot, so let's all take a moment, look through that text that we read, and try to figure out what are these pyramids for? What are these huge, ginormous blocks of rock built by thousands of men? What are they for? Take a moment, look through the text. Johnny, I want to remind you again, we're on page 20. Take a moment, I want to see some more hands. Especially from people I have not heard of. Hey, Baraka.
You have not heard from me. Never heard of me.
So, we're looking through this text, trying to figure out what these pyramids are for. So, we read this text. Look through it. Okay, look through the text. Find some evidence there. All right. Jojo, what are these pyramids for, and where does it say?
It says, like in the first sentence, the kings of the Old and Middle Kingdoms built pyramid tombs and cemeteries in the northern desert, which kind of implies that the pyramids were used as tombs.
Cool, awesome, love it. So, I have a note card up here, which I want you to write what I write down, okay? So, Jojo just read us an excellent summarizing sentence that was really important. But since we don't have so much space on this note card, we don't want to write this whole sentence. So we need to figure out a way to write what Jojo said in a short amount of words, right? And keep in mind, these note cards are for you. So you can use abbreviations, and you can use things that only you understand, right? You can use codes, things like that, okay? So Jojo, I'm sorry, can I get you to read the sentence one more time out loud?
Okay. The kings of the Old and Middle Kingdoms built pyramid tombs and cemeteries in the northern desert.
Cool. So we know they built cemeteries. So for me, I'm going to write pyramids equal tombs for kings.
Fair.
Okay? So that's what I wrote. And I'd like you to write this, what I just wrote for this first time. So copy this down. Notice that I'm using kind of like a math equation for this. I'm using a sort of a math equation. Keep in mind, like, math equations are super, super awesome for studying on note cards. And we're going to practice some more math equations on note cards this class. They're really good, especially for something called cause and effect, right? If something leads to something else, like, say, the Nile maybe flooding leads to farms and crops. Then you could do Nile plus flood equals farms. Something like that. But right now we're just doing pyramids equals tombs for kings. Okay, questions, Luca?
May I go get some water?
Yes, you may. Johnny? After Luca gets back. Okay. Great. Cool. Can I get it? Well, let's turn to let's see. Let's actually find one more piece of information from that big block of text that we got. So, take a moment, read over that block of text, and try to find one more thing. In addition to the pyramids being tombs for kings, what is another important piece that we can gain from that text? Take a moment. So, Zayden, you can read ahead, but when I instruct you to find a piece of information in text, you got to go back to page 20.
Kelly?
Yeah.
So, is that calculation like?
Yeah, we're just starting from this one.
Oh,
We're going to move on
I was
later.
gonna do this.
So for this one, we're using this block of text, and we're going to move on soon. Okay. I'm going to pick the popsicle stick again. Birch is not here. Center. You got one piece of information for me from that big block. What is it?
The burial chambers.
Sorry?
Burial chambers. They were
Mhm.
either when they were in the pyramids, they were either in the pyramid or below
They were in the period or what?
it, or below it.
Or below it. Okay. So that's a good piece of information, right? But that's a good piece of information, but that is sort of a subcategory of this one. Do you know what I mean by that? So like, that could be adding more detail to this one. Does that make sense? So I want to try to find another fact that's like pretty separate from this one, that still tells us a lot of important information about pyramids. Daniel, what do you think?
Not all pyramids have the same interior.
Okay, not all pyramids had the same interior, okay? But still, the purpose was generally the same, right? They're tombs, right? So again, that could be a detail here, like a subheading, right? So, let's not worry about that. Cool.
Well, one, they need a lot of workers, so that could be one thing. Another is
They what?
they need a lot of workers to carry each block,
Wonderful.
and also like they're super big and they weigh a lot, and they need to bring them from a nearby quarry,
Yeah.
whatever it's called. And actually, it's not like right next to it. It might be sort of far away, so they have to
Totally.
like, drag them on wood sledges and like a road.
Great. So while Joseph was like, what are these big pyramids for? Cole is asking, how do they happen? How do people make them happen, right? So the answer to that is that it takes tons of workers over many, many years for that to happen. So the information that was in this was some of these, let's see, pyramid required a large workforce at the pyramid site. Okay, large workforce. Some of them were professionals, some were just summoned for 3 months. We'll talk about that later. Can somebody give me a short way of expressing that on our note card? Elliot.
Expressing what?
That pyramids needed a huge, giant workforce in order to be built.
I don't know.
Luca.
Pyramids equals giant workout.
All right, cool.
I was gonna do giant workforce equals pyramid.
Pyramids. I'm gonna not do an equal sign. I'm gonna just say need giant workforce.
Wait, good job.
Plus intern slaves.
You can do giant workforce equals pyramid.
True.
Giant workforce.
Also killing.
Maybe we could do like giant workforce plus quarry
Yeah.
equals pyramids.
That's what I was.
That's even better. That's so much
Plus
better.
what? Plus intern workers.
Let's go workforce plus quarry, which is where they get the rocks.
Plus intern workers.
Giant workforce.
That's included in workforce, but
No, the intern they stay for 3 months.
Yeah.
true. I'm just gonna
That's part
say
of the
giant
workforce.
workforce plus quarry equals pyramid. But true, you could make this equation more complicated. You could go parentheses regular workforce plus interim workforce, and then plus quarry to the 4th power equals pyramid.
3D illustrations
Okay.
that practically
Wonderful.
leap off a page.
Okay, why don't you take, let's take 2 minutes. I'm gonna set a timer. 2 minutes to look through the rest of the page and find another important fact, right? So maybe you can find information from pictures too,
I
right?
already know.
So take 2 minutes, look through the rest of the page and try to find one important fact to include on your note
Does
card.
it have to be?
Do we write it down?
Sorry?
Can we write it down?
No, I want you to find something else besides the text that we just read, anywhere else on the page, and find one important thing. And think about why you know it's important. Be like, this seems important, then why is it? Ask yourself, why is it?
You know what?
So we got like 2 minutes, so I didn't set the timer. We got 1 minute.